I see the thumbnail got you guys here. I'm going to try to explain so you don't say it's a clickbait. Meanwhile, some of you guys can say it's a clickbait. I actually don't think so. I think that there might be something there. That's why, I'm making this show. At the beginning also, thanks for Sim for the platform, for the opportunity to record these shows, have fun with you guys, and the rest of the stuff, be a contributor to the NBK Fam. Like I said previously, I would like to explain why I named and picked a topic for a show like this. Well, as we all know, we see the Donovan Mitchell news around and around the social media, the newspapers and stuff like that. But the deal is still not done, right? As far as I see it, there might be more than just the Danny Ainge and Leon Rose talks. Why this deal isn't done yet? Why do I think so? Listen, guys, basically deals between two teams, they can take some time if one or another side wishes, for a bigger contribution from the other team and stuff like that. I think in this situation, in a simple, plain two team deal, basically, I don't think it should take as long as this goes. Listen, Danny Ainge can tell his demands. The Knicks gonna say whatever they want to say. Whatever the package they want to do, they can talk 2-3 times, and the deal should be done, right? If not, there should be some news that the deal won't be done because the Jazz want too much. The Knicks are not willing to do so, and I think each of the sides probably would put out information about that, right? Meanwhile, the only information that we have around there that is, it's actually that the Jazz want like 8 picks, whatever. We know, and actually I think I know that they're not going to get 8 picks from the Knicks, right? But I think that the other stalemate of this deal can be a situation which was reported by Tommy D, who said that if the Jazz and the Knicks complete the trade for Donovan Mitchell, that Julius Randle chances to be a Knick on the opening day are slim to none, or something like that, to be precise with the words. And just to put that other trade that we have to move Julius Randle somewhere else, that might be the other part that Leon Rose needs to pull the trigger on both of those deals literally the same day. Why? Because if we do the and like Sim says, other sides also reported it, not only Tommy D, that the other thing is, if you're negotiating one deal, but behind the scenes you're negotiating another deal for Julius Randle, then the teams, for example, both trades, for example, might require Quentin Grimes, right? So you need to negotiate 2 deals at the same time and basically pull the trigger at the same time. Why the thumbnail says that they have beef? Listen, as far as I consider, bringing Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, maybe it's not a must, but it would be great. I wouldn't be moving Julius Randle from the team. I would rather keep Julius Randle and see how the situation develops. Trading him just to trade him, for example, for what was reported for Russell Westbrook. Listen, that my 12-year-old son probably could think about a better deal than bringing another guard that is ball handling, like usage heavy and stuff like that, right? So I don't see any sense of bringing a Russell Westbrook to the Knicks for a Julius Randle. And I know that fans are going to say Julius Randle is a bum. They want to trade him for anything, for a box of chips, whatever you want to call it, right? I don't think that should be the case. And if you're building a team and you're trying to be a successful GM, I think there's more value in Julius Randle, not saying on the Knicks even, but at the trade deadline. Or you can get more from him than a guy that you are going literally have to cut or waive, right? Because if you're going to bring Russell Westbrook here, I don't think he's going to come off the bench. That's for one. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be able to handle being demoted to the second unit, which would cause way more problems than having Julius Randle in the first unit, even if it's for a couple of weeks till the trade deadline, right? So I think there actually could be a situation where Donovan Mitchell told Leon Rose that he doesn't want to play with Julius Randle, and that's hence the title that they have beef. I'm not saying that they poke each other at the gyms or those runs that they have in gyms and stuff like that, but I think there's more to it than fans can think about. Because, like I said, trading Julius Randle for Russell Westbrook, when you pull the trigger for a Donovan Mitchell deal, I don't think that makes sense whatsoever. So that's at least my idea. And like you guys writing in the chat, like Ernesto says, it's best if Randle is gone before training camp. Listen, if that's the case and they don't have a plan for Julius Randle to be on the team after that Donovan Mitchell deal, I rather trade him the same day, literally the same day and stuff like that. I see main event says that Russell Westbrook is a buyout. Listen, we didn't buy out Kemba's $9.7 million a year deal for 1 year. What makes you guys think that Leon Rose or whoever from the management is going to go to James Dolan and tell him, listen, we need you to put out $47 million just because we don't want this guy to play, and we traded a Julius Randle with someone else, probably with the D Rose, probably with someone else, right? So, and listen, and this 47 million is still going to be, like on your salary cap. So it's not like you're going to free up that salary so you can sign a free agent. It's going to be still counting over, versus your salary cap. So that's actually, going to be a thing that gives you literally nothing except that you don't have the guy on the roster and in the training facility around your team. And for me, that's kind of a stupid move. I rather trade Julius Randle to whoever else for a first round pick at the trade deadline, and that would bring you more, pros than cons as far as I see it. And not to mention that, listen, there are not going to be plenty of teams that are willing to take on his contract, which is kicking in this season, right? So it's going to be really, really hard, as far as I see it, to deal him to a team like the Lakers, which they have already big contracts on their salary cap and on their team, and adding just another one that's longer than Russell Westbrook contract, it can be even a dumber move than we saw in the NBA. That's why I think that it literally has to be something between Donovan Mitchell and Julius Randle if they don't wish to play together on a team. Because if Donovan Mitchell comes to the Knicks, I don't see a better power forward that the Knicks can obtain via the free agency, which is the free agent pool is literally almost dried out, and there's no good power forwards out there. I don't think Donovan Mitchell is thinking that Obi Toppin is a better power forward currently, day one of the season, than Julius Randle. And we can say whatever we want about the attitude and stuff like that. But listen, his skill set and the whole new situation, that might be a blessing in disguise for him. So as far as I see it, at least you gotta try it. I got one of the OGs here. Bro, I think Rob was way before me on NBK. bro. So it's a privilege. I don't have the music that Freezy plays for you.
Right, the music, right? But man, it just seems as though peace to the chat. It seems as though the disdain for Randle is like it's real because that same fadeaway baseline jump shot sent them to the All-Star game the year before. Now we don't want to see it. Oh, his haters is really hate for him. I think they don't even want him in the league. But that sounds crazy to me though. But no, man, you don't trade Randle for nothing. You know, you don't do that. And look, and I'm a big Obi fan, but but the value, but what I really want is the Knicks to win.
A first round pick and $50 million in cap space is nothing. That's
what you gonna do. Hey, look, what you gonna do with the cap space?
Well, you can
acquire.
Look, even if you can't use the money to sign players that you really like to long-term contracts, you can take another bad contract in for 1 year or two. If they're sending more.
But what about these bad contracts? All these bad contracts you're talking about. What about the young players? You putting these guys with these expiring contracts in front of these young players when they're in the development stage. How was that good for us as a team?
Talk to him, Rob.
You X out Randle, okay, and then you just X out, and all of these bad contracts that's coming in is stopping the development of the players that we now have because you're going to be forced to play these players. You know how Tom is. We just got rid of Tom's problem with playing vets. The Knicks right now is in stage 2. They're past player acquisition. They're past expiring contracts. It's all about development right now. And if you do anything else, you're skipping a step. Because right now, I'm not even big on the Donovan thing. So, let alone Westbrook.
I think you guys are missing the Westbrook thing a little bit. I think there is, Andy, I think you're dead on. There's either they don't like him, they're concerned about the amount of basketballs that the dribble at one time, it's only one. But the biggest thing I see with the Westbrook deal is look past next year. Let's say the Mitchell deal happens. We got Mitchell, 200 plus million, right? Brunson, 100 plus million. Randle, 100 plus million. This better be a good team because you're about to hand a $60 million luxury tax bill to James Dolan. If you give Dolan a $60 million bill, I'm telling you, he don't have no problem paying it. But if he's going to pay an extra $60 million, you better have a championship.
That's my whole point, is because if right now where this team is at the development stages where you can pick and choose everybody, okay, he's going to be a Knick. Okay, he's going to be a Knick because they all got enough years under their belt. This is just not the time to go get Donovan because you got too many unanswered questions.
The problem why we got to spend so much for Mitchell is because we haven't proven RJ. We haven't proven quickly. We haven't proven Oakley. You got Brunson to make everybody better. Take a month or two, play basketball. If everybody improves, one, you debate whether you even need Donovan Mitchell. And two, he's going to be much cheaper going forward. You got to let this team play. You got to trust Brunson. If not, why'd you just give the man $100 million?
I agree. Look, this is another point right here. In the last 40 years of basketball, in the last 40 years of the league, 35 to 40 years in the league, since they made the rule change to no hand checking, you can tell me a backcourt that was that small since Isaiah Thomas, and they wasn't as small as them. Joe Dumars was 6'2", 6'3". Isaiah was 6 feet. That won a championship. You can't even tell me a backcourt. And now, in our situation, this is what we want to put out there with the new rule change. Damon Dollar, and I can say Damon Dollar and the guy McCollum is a better backcourt than Donovan Mitchell and Brunson. And they couldn't get out. They couldn't do it. So what we going to reinvent the wheel with this backcourt? Sometimes some certain things are certain in basketball that you must have. You must have a 6'5" to 6'6" shooting guard, no smaller, and you must have a defensive center to win in this league. Go ahead.
You said Dame and McCollum is better than Brunson and Donovan, right? But
Yes.
if you would have gave David McCollum, Randle, Mitchell, and RJ, you don't think they would have got it done?
No.
No.
No, they wouldn't have got it done. They wouldn't have got it done because the exploitation of small guards with 2 minutes to go. Go back and look at the stats. The exploitation of small guards with 2 minutes to go in the game.
Rob, I would have been scared to give them a healthy athletic Mitchell Robinson. Man, people we really discredit because he's not healthy. He don't dribble.
No,
he don't
I love Mitch.
Yeah, but he changes the game. He
saying, but
changes
guess
the
what?
game like not many other centers.
Let me say this. In a situation like that, when you got those small guards, it's going to be so much pressure on Mitch with people going to the basket and kicking it off. It's so many different scenarios other teams will have just because of the small guard. Mitch can play immaculate down the stretch. Do everything he's supposed to do, but people will take advantage of the superstars at that position will take advantage of them down the stretch. And it's just a fact. Not to take anything from Mitch. I'm glad Mitch got his money. I'm glad we got Mitch. But in that scenario, it's not going to be Mitch's fault. It's going to be them blowing by them small guards. And you just can't get away from that. Look at that. Like I said, the Detroit Pistons, ever since the rule changed where you couldn't hand check no more and you couldn't move the guard around. And ever since they installed that move right there, when the NBA did that, they annihilated the small guards. Because Derek Harper was the master of that. He'd keep you in front of him with his hands. Now, once they took away all of that, that's what I'm saying. Go back to all the teams that won championships. They tried to throw Toronto out there with Van Cleef, but Van Cleef wasn't the starter. It was Green. You can play with him, but when it came down the stretch, you need that position secure. And Donovan and Brunson, unless you're going to put a $30 million player on the bench in the fourth quarter. And if that happens, you better win. If you substitute him for Grimes, or if Grimes still on the team, or you substitute him for RJ and he has to sit and watch, you better win. But why would you want that problem on your team?
So, Rob, you don't want Donovan at all, or you just don't want to get too much? I'm
saying my thing on Donovan is this year. This is not the year to get Donovan. If you would have got Donovan before you got Brunson, I say okay.
Okay.
But this is not the year to get him. And I like Donovan Mitchell. I'm glad he's putting the energy and showing everybody that he wants to be here. But this is a tough decision. Okay. But I would put a package out there to say a fair package out there to say I did it.
What would you give? What would you give? The most you give him?
The most I give him. Look, the picks. You can have the four. You can have the 4 unprotected picks. Okay. I'm not giving you 8 picks.
Okay.
No.
3 to 4, and then
you can only trade 3 unprotected right now.
All right. Yeah. So, and then I'll give you Grimes and Fournier, and Grimes and Fournier. Grimes, Fournier,
and you can add money to that.
And Rob, I got to give you Grimes, Fournier,
Fournier and Cam. Fournier and Cam will work in the picks.
Okay, Fournier and Cam. That's it. That's what I'm giving.
That's my package too.
Yeah,
and then you have, and then if you wanna listen, and then if you wanna upgrade and bring someone after that, you got Quickly, you got Obi, you got Grimes, you got Rose that you can move for an upgrade for another player that's going to be the missing piece, right? And if you trade, even one of those guys, even Grimes, if you trade Grimes in that package. You don't have one wing off the bench. Let's say you're going to fill out that spot with Carmelo. He still is just a couple of minutes player of a game. You can't play him like 30 minutes because it's going to be bad. And the next thing is, and if you trade Julius for nothing on that trade day, because like they say, like they're reporting that, you know, Julius has to go right after the Donovan trade, then you're going to get low value back. And I don't think you're going to get value for Julius trading him in the offseason for that kind of a missing piece. Not to mention that Julius is going to be subtracted from the current roster.
Andy, this is the first time we met, so salute. Nice to meet you, bro. 100%. Thank you for having me on. But I just wanted to address the clickbaity title that you had. You feel me? First and foremost, you know, and I ain't gonna be on long because I got a little break, like 15 minutes. But I feel like, and this is just a feeling how I feel, no facts. I don't feel like there's no beef between Julius and Donovan, because when you watch when World Wide West and they was in the playoff game, Julius was with him and they were scouting both them players, right? We wasn't just scouting Brunson, we were scouting Brunson while we were scouting Donovan Mitchell at the same time. So if all this turmoil that we pretend and we make up, because really it's all made up, make believe, it ain't no facts, it ain't no real, regardless of how much we speculate on it, we can't prove none of the things we speculate on, right? So I just feel like when you look at a dude trying to make his way quietly to our team, what would be the reason that he would want to do that? It's obviously a player here that people want to play with. You know what I mean? And we skip over that fact just so it could look the way we want it to look. So I want to know is like, who is the player on this team currently constructed that these players are trying to come here to play with?
Yeah, but listen, like I said before, why there are rumors that the Knicks, for example, are looking to trade Julius right after we get Donovan?
I feel like this is what the media do, right? They feel like the Knicks is like a trash can that they could jump all they trash on, right? Why? The only reason that y'all brought up a good reason, the only reason I could see them doing that is if they wanted to sign RJ without going over the cap, but they don't have to do that. They drafted him. He stays with the team. They could go over the luxury tax. So that is not, I don't see it as being a priority. And especially if Julius is still constructed to be the highest player on the team at this particular time. He only making 117. So let's not act like $26 million a year is some exorbitant price. I could understand if it was 35, 36 million, you know, he would have got the 200 million that he could have been entitled to, right? I would understand that, oh, it's a salary dump. If they can already go over the cap for this player, then they will. And they're trying to, so ultimately what I'm saying is it looked like they're trying to have 4 max players on the team. That's where it seems like they going to meet if we get Donovan. But I don't see rumors is, to me, is like dudes just throwing stuff in the air and see if it stick. You know what I mean? They just throwing it around to see who gonna believe it, and then people just run with these narratives with they don't even hold water.
That's why the question mark: do they have beef? When you bring a shooting guard that you're gonna trade a power forward, why would you do that?
Why would the Lakers trade for Julius Randle when they already got Anthony Davis? Those type of questions is the questions that so he could be a 6-man. Randle is not no 6-man. Name 5 power forwards in the league that's better than him.
If they want to trade Randle because it's not Donovan Mitchell, it's, for example, Tibbs, or it's, I don't care who, RJ, right? If that's the case, you still play him till the deadline, because if we are going to be winning, that's going to be the cure for everything. But
correct,
if we're going to be losing, you can still move Julius.
Yeah, I'm not saying anybody's untouchable. I'm just saying that trade don't make no sense, even for salary. Like, it doesn't benefit us to trade him and then dump him and then do what? It just don't seem like it's constructive for the team to make that kind of move. It don't even make, to be honest, it just don't make no sense to me. I can't even validate it in any kind of way because it just don't make no sense.
But Smoke, that's what Andy's saying. So he's like, is there beef with Donovan?
Yeah, I just feel like people just we've seen it since the Donovan Mitchell trade talk has started. People throwing out, oh, the deal is done.
But listen, that's just you know, that's why I'm saying that is this a speculation or it's really something there? Because I see no sense literally to trade Julius Randle today, tomorrow, till the trade deadline. Literally none.
If I got some more time, if y'all will have me, I'll pop back on.
Yeah, listen, I think we're gonna wrap up for today. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have shows that the panels gonna be filled with the members from the chat. So you guys gonna be welcomed. I'm gonna like I said before, I'm gonna have interviews with fans from Europe. I'm gonna call that segment NBK Europe. I'm gonna
That's dope.
also get guys from the NBK panel and NBK content creators to talk about more private things. I mean, like where they work, what they like, and stuff like that. Because I think that since you guys watch us so much and know our NBA and Knicks takes, it would be cool to know a little bit more stuff, from private, right? Like Rob has fish there. I'm building a fish tank tomorrow, Rob. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Day. Thanks for you, Rob, to join in. Thanks for
No
you,
problem.
bro. Happy to meet you. Would love to have you, next time. Love your KP take. For RJ, like you said, you're probably gonna get blasted. You didn't watch probably the show from the beginning. At the beginning, I got blasted for the clickbait topic, title, whatever you want to call it. Thanks,
All
Rob,
right, no
bro.
problem. Just take it easy,
Yeah,
Andy. All right.
Have a good
yeah.
one.
All right, Smoke.
Peace.